it is imperative that we debunk the lies spreading out there by a popular influencer or content creator called Verydarkman. I maintain my statement. Verydarkman lied. He's a pathological liar. He's a manipulator. And he twists this to suit his narrative. I've debunked all his lies so far. And he even challenged me to a debate. I'm sure you are aware of it. You have seen it. And he called me out for a debate. I accepted the debate within how many hours? And up to today, he started running away because in my acceptance speech, there are details I gave that he is now scared of me having the truth. I dare him to come on the debate. I dare every organization that want to sponsor the debate to come out. That Verydarkman lied. And we cannot fold our hands to be deceiving the gullible followers. True. You can see recent attack on a police station by the so-called Ratel. If I kept saying this, justice is not selective. If you're advocating for the rule of law, then you yourself must be a keeper of that law. And that is what we are not saying. For example, we are here purposely to debunk the lies, and his parade yesterday, being on the 10th, I mean on the 11th of August, and posted that police were asked to apologize and to stop, harass, and intimidating Ahmed Tajuddin, gentlemen of the press. Yes, it is true. But how he portrayed it was pure manipulation. Pure manipulation. I want you to read Relief 6 of that judgment. Relief 6 of the judgment.
Okay. The sixth said, an order of perpetual injunction restraining the respondent from harassing, intimidating, or arresting the applicant except in accordance with the due process of law.
Thank you. Event has override and overtaken this particular judgment. The event is number one. An order was obtained from Federal High Court. And that was the reason, that was the order the Interpol used to arrest him in Cotonou, in Benin Republic. So as it's in accordance to the rule of law. Listen to this. The law is not selective. And let me give you an example. If a criminal is caught in the act of killing somebody, and there is a judgment that he should be killed by hanging, if he's shot to death, the authority has breached his fundamental human right. Because the judgment say, die by hanging. Why shooting? But in whichever way, all die, not die. Execution is an execution. But the rule of law is not selective in respect of he who is involved. And that is just simply the case. Now, the court simply granted another, okay, apologize if the police couldn't present the order of the warrant that were issued on the 16th of February, and how he was served and how he refused to come. Now, if he was not invited by the police, how come he ran away from the country? It's a common sense. How come? But you see, the legal department that handled the same case from party, I'll not go into that, but I'm putting you on notice. And to tell Nigeria why you couldn't go with all the necessary documents as an evidence. And that was the evidence they could not substantiate in court that led to that aspect of, say, common apology. I don't know, gentlemen of the press, you understand what I'm talking about. That is just the reason for the apology. Now, on the substantial suit, an allegation against the murder of Prince Ademola and Sheriff, the court hold it that, look, from the evidence presented to us from the video, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, you have a case to answer. Therefore, we cannot grant you, we cannot exonerate you. Why did Verydarkman did not read that portion of the judgment? Why did he write the part that only favors and say, and show up the parade to apology? And ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you, thank God for Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Rewan Disu. He has informed and ordered the legal department to appeal the case. As I speak to you, notice of appeal being served. So, on just the apology, don't forget, not on the substantial suit. The judgment, the first judgment was delivered by Martins, Justice Martins, Mrs. Martins. Justice Martins redirected him back to the trial court that you cannot come to seek for relief from this court to exonerate you when you have not faced the trial court. Now, the second judgment also delivered on the 7th, also the same thing. Go back to the trial court. Ahmed, you have a case to answer until you exonerate yourself with evidence that you are not part of this murder. Listen, if Nigeria must be great, we all must put effort and all hands must be on deck. And we should deviate from, people coming out to tell all of us, Mr. Integrity. I put it to you, a very dark man, Martins Ose, you have no integrity.
No.
No single integrity. You are just a manipulator. Look here. The last time a man came and told Nigeria that I'm a man integrity without vetting. I remember some people were posting on social media, even if he present NEPA, we'll vote for him. Even if he present a water bill, we'll vote for him. At the end of the day, are we better than where we were in 2015? Integrity must be vetted. Don't forget, we are not here to cancel the Verydarkman, but we are here to correct his excesses. That look, there are excesses. Stop twisting the narrative to suit your contractor. He said it in the beginning of his message that look, Ahmed Tajuddin, I have done your work chop. And definitely he was contracted to do it. So please, Nigerians should be very careful not to be carried away by media trials. Nigeria police are doing extraordinary very well in many areas. True. Don't forget, there are flaws see, corruption in Nigeria is not only in the Nigeria police. I'm a politician, a businessman, an investor at the same time. If you look at the kind of corruption in some organization in this country, police is a child play.
True.
So we encourage them when they have done wrong. We done right, and we chastise and expose them when they have gone wrong, or to have a better country. And the issue of AIG Jimo is not alone. He's not acting as AIG Jimo. He acted according to the instruction of the then Inspector General of Police that minuted on the petition and said, CP Lagos, take over and bring back reports.
Which he has been doing.
Which he has been doing. And even when he left the seat, it was the current IG, in his wisdom again, also ordered the CP Lagos to take over and continue from the case. And that is when the fraud started coming. Listen to this. The CP Lagos and DC Panti must be put on notice to tell Nigerians how those documents officially leaked from their offices.
True. Must.
Gentlemen of the press, if we are looking for a better Nigeria, then we must speak the truth in respect of whoever involved. And I want to also appreciate the Inspector General of Police. If by the popular outcry, arrest VDM now, that is the lawlessness we're also talking about. But the man has, kept quiet, watching as the event unfolded. 2 invitations have been extended to him. One from Lagos, one from headquarters here. You alleged people that they are they ran away, that they are killers, they are murderers. And they went to the nearest police station in Lagos, to the ICC, said, look, this man insulted us, abused us, and told us and said on air that we ran away, police are looking for us. Here we are. And the police sent an invitation, Mr. Man, come here and tell us how come you say these people are missing. He had problem with it. He came up here and told Nigerians, AIG Jimo is after me, police is after me. Oh, come on. Is that integrity? Ladies and gentlemen. And on the allegation on the police again, the IG with his wisdom did not harass him. Remember, no harassment. just corporate special invitation. Come before the FCID with all the necessary evidence you have to present before and how police goofed in the process of arresting or how the police pinned murder. He said it's not an allegation. He said police pinned murder on Jimo. So it's affirmative statement. It's not an allegation. Pinned. So come and tell us how police is shouting and ranting everywhere. He's nowhere to be found. But tomorrow when police arrest him, the same Nigeria say, free Verydarkman. I warn you ahead. Remember this day that he is the one toiling with the authority of Nigeria police. He is the one talking down and looking down on the Inspector General of Police who have extended an official invitation to him. Ladies and gentlemen, he came up again yesterday and was jubilating and was, what is the jubilation here? Your Ahmed Tajuddin has not been exonerated by court. The court only passed a judgment on his fundamental human right just because the legal department of the police couldn't present all the needed evidence, which they have, and they have appealed to present it. In other words, he has nothing against the Nigeria police as at today. As at today. Please, let's be very careful of so many activists that are coming up, not to deceive the gullible Nigerians. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have
Yes, exactly. I have to say, what I just want to see at this place, he does there. But fortunately or unfortunately, I paid attention to all of this video. For the fact that Verydarkman did not seek for other sources or other evidence before he started passing his judgment on the police and the CP of Lagos, the then CP of Lagos, was a surprise to me. Because recently he had another outcry on Jude Okoye plus Peter Okoye and the family, where Jude called him 2005 and told him and showed him evidence of the situation. But Verydarkman kept quiet and ensured that he focused on and said that there was no counter evidence. So he wants to wait for a counter evidence for him to speak. But on this particular judgment, everything he got it from one channel. He has not sampled any other opinion. In Ajiran, people are crying all over the social media of what has happened in their place. We're expecting that a Verydarkman who had always balanced his reportage would go and get evidence from the other side and bring them and balance them and make people to see. But he went to one channel, bring up his all evidence and showed it to the people. Now, he praised the court yesterday. Just now, like 5 minutes ago, he posted another video saying that the DPP has been fully involved
and
in this, and they are almost compromised. Are you confusing the whole entire Nigeria? Allow the court and the system, the justice system to take to control the process. You don't come and then be interjecting when the court is up and running. Thank you.
Okay, finally, I would like to say, my name is Mario Wazobia, social commentator, also an activist. I would like to say that though we want people to listen to us while we make some videos on the internet, social media is not the court of law. Social media is not the court of law. Social media is not court of law. Social media is not court of law. Social media is not the court of law. Social media is never ever the court of law. You can't get verdict on social media. You're just going to have a bunch of Nigerians with emotional challenge dealing with this thing one-sided. So please, if you have any issues, you want to deal with anything, take it to the court of law. Like Jimo mentioned, if police invited you for something, instead of you to be running from country to country, go to court and explain yourself. If you have so much evidence to free yourself on social media, why can't you take such evidence to court? Look evidence in Kuje court. With evidence, court. Evidence, social media is not it. Thank you.